my number one strategy, and this is basically how we get carriers. And I use the word autopilot. And before this live training, there are people asking questions like, Kamal, do you really mean when you say on autopilot? And I really mean when I say autopilot. Yes, obviously there is work up front. We need to do a little bit of work up front, and then obviously we just put in autopilot, and it will be working for you. And then exactly what I'm going to show you in today's video. Couple of things that I really want to go over. There are a lot of requests, people asking, Kamal, what are the books you can recommend as far as business, as far as mindset, as far as marketing, sales. And I do have 4 of these books that I have prepared for you guys. And then if you can stick to the end, I will share these 4 books with you, and then I will just give you a little bit of information about these books, and you can buy them Amazon. You can just search them online. These are really awesome books. Be honest with you, not only changed my business, it changed basically my life. And there are a lot of businesses and lives out there, including my students as well. So that is that. And then at the end of this video, guys, there will be an opportunity working with me. There are a lot of people obviously asking questions, Kamal, can I work with you? And then a lot of people asking about one-on-one. I don't do one-on-one. I don't recommend doing one-on-one if you are really started your business and you're generating revenue for your business, and maybe you need like strategies as far as growing, scaling your business, then obviously we can do that. So this video specifically for those people who really want to become independent freight dispatchers. Maybe you are a dispatcher right now, and a lot of students of mine that also they're watching this video. And the number one question, if you did receive my email where I stated that, hey, you guys ask a lot of questions as far as Kamal, like, what's your website? Like, we never saw your website, how you are getting clients, what are the strategies? You talked about the sales funnels, but you never showed us your funnel. And I was like, yeah, I do share everything that I do with my coaching students. Obviously, it's not available for public, but then I'll decided just basically help people out there, just showing you how to get clients. Especially nowadays, it's really hard to get carriers. As I get many emails stating that, hey, it's really hard to get clients. I said, listen, this works in just basically there are 4 steps. I'll be going like, I'll show you the first step. I'll go over really in details, taking your questions. Live chat is available. You can ask me whatever you want. For those people, meaning who subscribe to this channel, they know that at the end we'll be doing Q&As, and then you'll ask question, and I'll just pick your question and just put it right in front of the screen, and then I'll be doing my best to answer your question. So this is basically leverage this. Know one thing, that some people will treat this as just watching another YouTube video. It's just another live YouTube training, but I really want to just take this as a masterclass. The only way for me to deliver to the mass is just using the channel, meaning the YouTube channel. So you'll be watching, and then what I would recommend is just like have a notebook, just have a pen or pencil, whatever, and then just take notes, because there will be a lot of information. And be honest with you, if you use this strategy and implement, you will get carriers. That's for sure, if you implement. But one thing I really want to, and again, we'll jump into this, but before, just let's just knock down a couple of things, because these are really important things. As far as copying, don't copy what I am going to show you, right? Don't copy it. So the strategy, you can basically take it and create your own and get carriers that way. We already tested, and you just like have a peace of mind that these 4 steps work like crazy, right? It works. You don't need to test it. Well, obviously you need to test before you launch it, but then this is the exact sales process that we use, right? So I had a conversation, and by the way, this is the goodies that I have from DAT, and if DAT watches this, guys, thank you so much. You're awesome. And I got this hat. And by the way, let me show you this. I think this is awesome. And I also got these cool socks from DAT. This is awesome. I never wear them, but it's really high quality, and This is a notebook that I got from DAT, and this cool water bottle from DAT. Thank you so much, guys. You guys are awesome. So, one thing, I think this is the last thing before we jump on this, sharing my screen, and then we're sharing the strategy that I have with you. It will be awesome. One thing we need to cover is the skepticism. Why I do this? Like, if this works for me, what am I sharing with you? Why is that? Like, this is basically, I put in a ton of money on this so people can create this for me. I paid a lot of money for people who can write copies, meaning for copywriters. I paid a lot of money, I would say a ton of money, to integrating things, the tools that I use. And obviously, you guys ask questions as far as what are the tools that I use. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you have. I don't know the time, how long will it take, because I really want to deliver, guys. So that's the one thing. Why is that? Guys, I get a lot of students and a lot of people who ask, well, who share the personal information. Like, that's the personal information, the personal stories they have as far as training goes. I do realize that a lot of people just gone into this or been in that trap where people just create some type of information and selling out there, like treating that they are the coaches, they are the business owners, and teaching people how to become independent freight dispatchers. Really, a lot of people, just be honest with you, I felt that I really want to share this, because a lot of people, they coming to my world saying the number one thing when I ask questions like, why us? And a lot of people will say that because we trust. The trust I really admire, and thank you so much for those of you who have the trust in me and obviously all of my students. One thing is that I really want to destroy the competition. I really mean by that when I say this, and don't take it. It's not about like being a really bad person, but really there are some people out there who are watching the YouTube channels or YouTube videos, especially mine, and then they will be creating info products and will be selling for thousands of dollars, and then people will be joining the coaching program and will say that, well, Kamal, your YouTube channel, well, basically I paid a ton of money for other people who charge this. I think it's just a scam. I really sick and tired just listening those, stories where people hard earning money paying for the information, which is, it's free. Guys, the training that I do, obviously, with my paid student, with coaching students, and you're about to learn something really important. And then, as I said, if there are some people just skeptical and thinking about like why I share this valuable information, I could have charged this thousands of dollars for this like other people do. As I said, I really want to destroy the competition. I don't think those people out there who scamming people, but just like watching YouTube videos and creating info products and selling it. And guys, by the way, if you can send me an email, I will send you the list of companies out there that just like don't trust, don't buy from them. They're absolutely scam. And by saying this, I want to say something really important, that there are some companies out there, they're legit, they've been in business, they've been in there, they had their trucking companies, or maybe they have their trucking companies, and obviously they've done it, they booked load by themselves, and they teach people out there, and they're legit. I 100% agree with them, I admire them. There are a lot of people that I know personally that they do this. But then obviously there are some people out there just like, I don't know, kid in, I don't know, the basement in the house, just trying to make a quick buck. Don't buy into this. And again, if you want to learn like how to just become or how to dispatch, trucks, from your home, just watching these YouTube videos will be enough for you, to be honest with you. But then there is a question like, Kamal, you do have a coaching program, and obviously you do charge for people if I want to sign up for your training, you charge for the training. Obviously, yes. The one thing we're different, and this is how. We don't charge for the information. I'm putting the work every single week. I'm out there with my students, teaching them and showing them and basically holding their hands and moving step by step with them, right? And basically what it means is that I value my time, and I want you to, value your time. Who pay, they pay attention, right? So that's the number one reason why I do this and why I charge for people when they come to my world. Another thing is that we don't charge for a training. For some people, meaning for the course itself. For some people, it will be confusing, but we don't charge for the training. Because training is just an add-on. It's just a free as a bonus. Some people get confused, but the reason why I do this is because I want you to come in and join. Let me teach you, but then watch those pre-recorded videos first so that when I'm in the coaching call every week, right in front of you live like this, and you're asking questions, I'm sharing my computer, looking at your work, looking at your website, looking at your documents, whatever, your business, dissecting your business. And I'm using the terminologies. I'm using, let's say, saying tunnel or proof of delivery or POD or something like that. Or rate confirmation. I just want you to know what I'm talking about, right? And because of that, we have these pre-recorded videos where you just go there and watch it. And obviously, it's basically from A to Z. But what you're paying for is actually the coaching that I have every single week on a Zoom call with my students. That's what it is, and that's the difference. A lot of people out there, they don't even have support. And if you are in the market right now, you're just trying to learn, this is just basically before heads up. Because when you watch this, obviously you'll be excited and you want to just get quickly started in doing this thing. But I just want you to be careful. There are a lot of people out there. So they're taking advantage of, from you, off of you, and scamming people. Just be careful. Okay. So, and you can ask questions. Obviously, I have, no problem sharing, live. You can ask whatever the questions you guys have. Let's go. Let me share my screen. And this is what I'm going to share. This is what number one strategy. This is a strategy that works for me. This is how we get clients on Autopilot. And for this video specifically, I will be talking about or showing you the 4-step sales process that I have. It's already built, and we basically updating a couple of things, and I'll share with you what we are updating and why we are updating. And every single step, I'll show you the step. I'll pause. I'll just show you the tactic. This is why we have this. The strategy and then tactic behind it. And if you guys have questions, and I do see, a couple of questions already, but let's, hold on to those questions. And then at the end, we'll do Q&A. So without further ado, let me share my screen real quick with you, and we will go from there. So what you see is basically, this is the entire process. We'll have another training I will be going into like more in details, but this is basically, we build it already. And this part is what's happening behind the scenes, right? So this is the whole machine, the whole system that I'll be sharing with you guys. One thing, guys, this is very in-depth. I want you to take notes. And be prepared. There will be a lot of things coming at you, and then I'll just ask questions, take notes. I really want this masterclass will be interactive. So what you're looking at, this is basically quote unquote is a website. Why I say quote unquote is website is because this is basically first process. The first step of the process. So we have 3 left. So first process. If you are one of my students, you already know this. And if you subscribe to this channel, you know that I did a lot of videos about the sales process, sales funnels. This is basically a first step. This is what your carriers will see, meaning owner-operators. Think about carriers with 4 trucks, 5 trucks, 10, 20, 30, you name it. You basically will be marketing this, what we call in the marketing language, this is a opt-in page. What will happen is that people will just come into this. And again, I'm sharing the strategy, and then I will be sharing the tactics, okay? So then the strategy is basically let all of the people coming into, meaning people, meaning your carriers, meaning potential leads, coming to this landing page. So they will have a little bit of information about what you do. The whole idea, this is very important, you can take notes with this. The whole idea is to push them to schedule a call with you. And again, if you don't know what I'm talking about, ask questions, let me know. Kamal, what do you mean when you say strategy calls? For those people who don't know, but for those of you who know what I'm talking about, strategy calls is the game, okay? So now just look at this. Now I'm going into it. Now, first step, this is the strategy. Now, we are going into tactics, right? Remember, we talked about this strategy plus tactic. So let's go tactics. So tactic is number one tactic is if you one of my students or the students watching this, what I say, pick a niche, right? Pick a niche. This is like this. This is you're not saying, "Hey, carriers," but basically you're saying the carrier or the carrier. Read the headline. Discover the number one resource flatbed truck owner operators are using to skyrocket their profit. Think about it. So by just looking at it, maybe you don't have any marketing skills, you don't have any sales tactics or strategies, maybe you don't have any experience in business. Just by looking at it, you will quickly realize that we are targeting who? We're targeting flatbed, right? Just the flatbed owners. We don't work with drive-in. We don't work with box truck. We don't work with the hot shots, box, whatever. We don't do that. And then a lot of people emailing saying, Kamal, we started doing marketing in advertising, and what we get is a lot of unqualified leads. And on the step, I would say number 3, this is where I will be showing the qualifying process. This is very important for those of you who are who will stick to the end, and then we will see exactly how we are qualifying, the carriers. So what we are giving away is basically shippers and brokers list. So we're giving away the brokers list and shippers list combined. So these are the brokers that we working, and these are the shippers, list that personally have a contact with, and there are a lot of shippers, obviously. So we connected these brokers and shippers, and we created this, I would say, the lead magnet in the marketing language. What we call this as a lead magnet. So let me just do a full screen so you can just focus on. Let me go here real quick, and you can focus on the content real quick. So now, what will happen is that obviously we'll get the name and phone number and email address, and then they will say, okay, I'll give you this information, but in exchange, I'm getting the shippers list and brokers list. So that's the tactic. I need information so I can contact, and obviously on the call, I'll be asking questions. So if you don't sign up, I'll be following up with you so that you can work with me. What will happen, and when they get clicked, and then they will put the information. Obviously, this is how it works. It's in pop-up. So next step, now we're going to the next step. The next step obviously is the sales page. Now this is a second step of the process. That we have two more steps. And this is where you will be giving more information about you and basically convincing them so that they can work with you. So finding more loads, save time, and remove stress with dispatch trucks. Obviously, this is our company. And by the way, this entire process, our students will be getting this entire process, and it will be just customized towards their businesses. So, and that will be, as I mentioned, at the beginning of the training, as I said, there will be an opportunity presented, at the end of this training. So if you stick to the end, I'll just basically give you the information you need. So what will happen? And again, think about the number one thing since the beginning. What I said is we're pushing people so they can schedule a strategy call with us or the discovery call. Think about, for those people who don't know what I'm talking about as far as like strategy calls or something like that, think of a demo call, right? Schedule a call with me so that I can know about your business. And then if I see that we're the right fit, then we start working together. That's the basically main idea, right? Now, find more loads, save time, and remove stress with dispatch trucks. Basically, they have a stress, they have the problem, and what's the solution? Solution is you, basically your company. Now, a little bit of a copy is basically, giving them information, what we do, how we do, and then a simple process. We've tested that, hey, there should be a guided steps for people. Just basically, one is just a click of a button, do this, enter the information. Second is this basically a qualifying process. I will show you. That is the third step of the process. This is very important. And obviously, third one is the the actual call. basically they will be scheduling a call. There will be the calendar where they will pick a day and time that works for them and for you, obviously. Now, when they click book a call, right, or book your free call, there's basically a sales strategy. As you can see, it's simple and it's clean, it's right to the point, right? We're not just saying all about me. And think about, like, remember we did it, and especially for subscribers, we did a video. I was showing basically the tactics and strategies as far as website goes, what to say, what not to say. This video is in this channel, and I said it's not about you, it's all about them, right? And this is what we implemented here. And if you can see, the only thing is we mention is just branding. It's saying that, hey, dispatch trucks can deliver. That's it. And then right after that, all it's about them, meaning the customer, because we are trying to solve customer problem. So this is the sales page. And again, coming back, the first step of the funnel is the capture page or squeeze page. Think about that way, the lead magnet page. Whatever you name it, this is basically where we get the information. Now, second, this is where we do more of a convincing, right? And then third step, this is very important. A lot of, obviously, people saying that, hey, we don't want to work with X, Y, and Z. We don't work with certain markets or something like that. This is where we qualify. Please fill in the application below, unlock your moving potential. Get more leads, less stress, and dominate your region. Copy is very, very straightforward and strong. What we do is we need company information and note here. See that? Note, no box truck, no hotshot, no sprinter vans. Guess what? These people are not contacting with us. Why? Because we said that we don't work with these people. And again, there is a one process in one step. This is one of my virtual assistants. It does what she does is just basically calling them and saying, hey, just to make sure that we are right fit before the call, like, you are in the flatbed market. We just need to qualify them furthermore, to just think about that way. So number of trucks, obviously we have all the questions. I want to share something very important. A lot of people in the independent freight dispatching business, they will ask this question on the call, but don't. Why? You just have these ready, and then on the call is basically, this is where you're reviewing whatever they have the information given to you, or the information available to you. So here is the tactic, right? So we're talking about the strategy. Now here is a tactic. There is a psychology behind this. One, well, obviously the strategy is getting information in something like that so we can use it later on. But then the tactic itself is in psychology, what we have is the micro commitment. What micro commitment means is that they have taken some time out of their busy life and they put their information. That means they already see what I'm saying, like already interested in working with you, right? Now on the sales calls, on the strategy call, it's less work to do. So hope this makes sense. And that these are the three questions. This is where I personally, if I'm taking the strategy calls with carriers, this is basically where I'll be using to close, right? So, and again, more on this we'll talk about. So what will happen when they submit, right? This is the third step of the funnel. Now there is a first step of the funnel, obviously, and then there is one important step. Think about like as a bonus step, but it's very, very powerful, and I will share it with you. Now, lead came in to this best case scenario. They gave us the information we need, and we delivered whatever they needed. And obviously, they landed on the sales page. This is second step of the funnel, and then or the sales process. Now, this is micro commitment. Remember, this is very important, and this is where we're qualifying them. And third step, this is where the lead or the potential customer will be scheduling a call with you. This is very important. When they start scheduling a call, And that means, okay, so today's Tuesday, and they'll say, okay, on Wednesday, or these are the available dates where I can schedule, right? And this will basically, it's generated, meaning it needs some inputs from you. Basically, you are letting them know that these are the dates you are available. Maybe you're working 9 to 5 or something like that. Maybe you're doing this as a side hustle or something like that. So this tool is basically help you just let them know that, hey, these are the times that I'm available. You just pick and choose, and then that's it. We're good to go. On that day, I'll be there, you'll be there, and then I'll start, you know, asking questions. Basically, what I mean is that dissecting your business, and then like know what are your problems so that I can solve your problems. So that's the idea. This is the fourth step, and then obviously, as I said, there is a the bonus, I would say, step. This is very important. Some people will just send genetic, I would say, confirmation page or thank you page, something like that. But this is basically a fifth step. This is very important. And then now here is the strategy, and then we'll go into tactics. Strategy is basically tell them that, hey, well, thank you. Your call is confirmed. It's just a peace of mind. Just, okay, it went through. Awesome. Well, now I will receive a confirmation from you. And oh, wow, that was a process, right? So, what will happen? So, now coming into tactics, there are two tactics that I want to share with you. This is very important. Number one tactic is that your carriers who gone through these steps, they already feel that you have something to offer. So you know what you're doing, right? So you have the sales process established. Your lead gen machine is working. It's a well-oiled machine. It's working for you. Maybe they need something like this, right? So you built it. Now, the second tactic here is this. Meaning, if you have in a highly recommend and encourage people, and I encourage my students as well, like pushing them, so hey, go ahead and create a content, go have social links, be available for people out there. So I really want to add, and this is what I said, we're still updating, and we'll have the TikTok, because we have a TikTok account as well. And this real estate is very important. Now, think about from step number one all the way through. If one of your leads came into this page, the 90% they pre-sold already. That means, listen, I'm already sold. Like, I really want to work with you because you have very smooth, such an amazing, I would say, process I've gone through. I feel like you're a legit company. Don't you feel like it? Like, think about, we are going and I'm sharing these steps with you. And it just basically, this is the journey of a trucking company or the carrier. This is it. This is basically a journey for them. And to think about, and they now gone from all of these steps, which is really important. Now they landed on this page. What will happen? Now we'll just basically pushing them so that they can, be part of our world, right? Basically, there are a lot of content for them out there on Instagram and YouTube. And think about, if I click, there you go, we will go to Dispatch Trucks info, meaning the Instagram, and then they will just, oh wow, okay, they have some content. We'll have the thousands of people following them, and then obviously YouTube channel, right? So, and what about the Facebook? They will just go to, okay, now we have this social links. What is it? It's basically a social proof that we exist. We professionals, we're delivering what we promised. That's basically it. And think about, I had a meeting with my team, and I said, listen, I think we need to add a thank you video. Thank you is basically all of these stating on this page is basically quick. You can record a quick video just saying, like, thanking them, saying, hey, thank you for signing up, and I will be there. And then, by the way, there's a links below this video. There is a social links. You can just be part of it. Follow us if you need more content. So That's basically it. And then I'll do another video where this is on the back end. This is, this is what will happen. So on the back end video, we'll do another live training, and then we'll be going over this. So now let me come back and then questions. Let me add this question. I think this is about the cold calling, and a lot of people, guys, asking a question about facing a huge problem getting carriers. Okay, we'll talk about this. Let me get this. Awesome. So, do you guys like it? Is it awesome? Do you want me to do like more of these types of videos? I think it's like maybe too technical. And again, as I said, I'll be sharing these 4 books. They're here for those people who just stick with me until the end, and I'll be sharing these books with you. Let me take your questions. Like, we've gone over these 4, or you can say 5 steps, and this is basically the sales process that I use inside my business and sharing my paid students, meaning coaching students. And now it's a time where I will be taking questions, and then obviously I'll share the books with you. What are the books? Like, these are the books. Basically, they changed my life and obviously my business. It will change your life and your business, obviously, if you put your mind into and allow to. So Faizan says, facing a huge problem to get carriers. Well, I think it is a problem. I think it's a good problem to have. That means you have a business, I'm assuming, in obviously you're trying to get carriers. What This is very important. When I say I'm assuming, a lot of things, obviously, because I don't know you, and then this is basically a YouTube channel. And by the way, this is a quick, mighty, I would say, disclaimer. Like, guys, this I treat this video just for educational purposes. I just sharing my knowledge, my content, my experience with you. Just copy it, meaning copy it, not exactly copy it, but just take this strategy and tactics that I shared with you, create your own test, and you will get carriers, obviously, with the strategies that I shared with you. Now, when it comes to creating your business, like, you really want to talk to your, I don't know, small business attorneys out there. Those are the people, professionals that will help you build a business. I'm not the guy who builds a business or forcing you to build a business or go ahead and create a business. No, I'm not into that. So I have no rights to say that, and I have no control over that. It's basically, as I said, this channel is just basically for training and educational purposes, and entertainment purposes as well. Now, facing a huge problem to get carriers. I just showed you how you can get carriers, basically leveraging this, basically number 1 strategy that I have in my business. Now, getting a first carrier after 100 call or cold calling, is it a good ratio? Please let me know. Okay, let's talk about the ratio. It's awesome that that there is a conversion rate. There's a closing rate. This is awesome. Now, it really, to me, and again, I'm assuming that you have this up and running system that I showed you, that lead gen machine, that it generates leads for you. And again, if you're implementing this, you're not doing cold calling. And by the way, coming back to this autopilot, and this is where we use our system where we just, turn on, and now it works, like magic on autopilot. Now, remember when we started this at the beginning of this training, I said, there's a little bit of work up front where you just put at work basically building this, right? And customizing toward your business and connecting with all the tools like scheduling tools, and like email automation, something like that. And obviously you must have a pre-written emails for this, in several of those emails, and a text message that goes to your carriers. Remember why we're getting numbers? Because we wanted to send text messages and obviously messages or emails to carriers, so like reminding them, hey, there's a scheduling, there's a scheduled call coming up Wednesday or tomorrow or after tomorrow, something like that. Those are really important, and that's a follow-up system. Remember I showed you the did a lot of things, moving pieces, and then we said we'll create another video and we'll go over it. Now, 100 people, when you call 100 people, if you have when it comes to cold calling, if you have a script, and we had one of our students, she had the exact same problem. She's doing a cold calling, but then obviously she doesn't have a script, and we don't provide a script for the cold calling because, trust me, I don't do cold calling, and then I'm not good, I would say, at cold calling. Well, I just admit that. And why I say that I'm not good at cold calling, because I tried it, it didn't work. Didn't work. That means it doesn't mean that we didn't get carriers. We did, but it's really hard get a carrier with just making hundreds of calls, right? It's just very exhausting, and I think it's just a waste of time for me. That's my personal opinion. Or people out there just like they're just killing with the cold calling. Why? Because they know the system, they know how to approach people that are they cold. That means they don't know anything about your business, you don't know anything about their businesses. And obviously, they're using script, and it's battle tested winning scripts. They're just like going over the script and closing deals just like that. Now, 100 people you called, what about how many people actually pick the phone up and talk to you, right? 100 calls, to me, it means just dialing numbers and making 100 calls, right? And when you say 100 calls, maybe you did actually talk to 100 people, right? So if you did talk to 100 people and you just got one carrier, well, congratulations, with getting carriers, at least you're putting the work, but it's not a good metric to have, making 100 calls, talking to 100 people, and just one person says yes. That means something is missing. I'm not saying that it's something wrong, but I think it's something missing in the sales process, right? I would suggest script. Have your script and test against another script. You know what I'm saying? It's not just talking, just like the person, picked up the phone and you start talking. Hey, my name is so and so, and I'm an independent freight dispatcher, and I've been doing this. And you start talking about how awesome you are, right? We fall into that trap many, many times because we feel good when we talk about our businesses, ourselves, and we're good, we're awesome. No, 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 no. It's all about them. They have problems and they pick the phone and they say like, yes, hello. They don't know who you are. They don't even know where you're coming from. What are the ideas you have? Maybe you're trying to insult them. Maybe you're trying to consult them. They don't know, right? And by the way, one of my mentors said, in the cold calling, they don't know if you could, insult them or consult them. They don't know. Basically, they have no idea what you're going to talk about. Now, because of this, you should have at least 15% closing rate. 15% closing rate. That means if you talk to 100 people, at least at the minimum, 15 people should say yes. Right? That's basically a norm. Norm all across the board, all across the industries, 20-25% closing rate is good actually, right? Some people have 30%, some people have 37%, some people have 35%, some people even have 50% closing rate. That's a different story. But for us, for example, independent freight dispatchers and independent freight dispatchers out there, cold calling specifically, if you have script, if you have the proven strategy going after the people, that means you should close. The lower end should be about 10 to 15%. That means you talk to 100 people, you're closing at closing, meaning people saying yes to your business, 10 to 15 people, right? Those are the people, 10 to 15 people out of 100 people, they'll say yes. So if you're below 10, this is where like, what's wrong, right? What is wrong? What am I doing? What is missing, right? What am I missing? The number one thing, before even the script is important. Before the script is the lead source. A lot of students will ask questions like this. I did cold calling, I did this, X, Y, and Z. I was just like, what's the lead source? Where you got your leads is very important. And where you got your leads will dictate the results, be honest with you. So if you got your leads from FMCSA, I'm pretty much about 99% of the time, I know what will be the answer for those people. If you got from a DAT directory, if like maybe you bought some, I don't recommend buying leads, by the way. There are some people buying leads. There's some companies basically doing the lead gen and selling the leads for you. I don't believe in that system, but some people do. It's like I'll cross the board. I know what will happen. Lead source is very important. So think about, you need to put people through the process, what we call the sales process or sales funnel. At the end of the funnel, they will give you the number, and just only thing is left is just like closing the deal, right? That's it. You're not just pushing hard on them saying, hey, we're awesome, we're doing X, Y, and Z, and work with me. No. So hope this helps. And again, if you have questions about cold calling, about scripting, any numbers about the software CRM, ask me. This is basically, as I said, I'll be answering your questions. Unless you're asking questions, I'll be there. I'll be here with you and helping you guys. Now, let's go, and I hope this helps. Let me have this question. And there's a Facebook user. Okay, so now, my name is Mohammed Ibrahim. I'm from Kenya, and I have tried to reach out to many carriers, and I couldn't find any. Okay, help me understand the easiest way to find a solution for this situation. And Mohammed, I think I just gone over with what was the name, Uh, Faizan. I just gone over it, and it's basically implement whatever I said, meaning just use that information, generate ideas as far as cold calling, getting carriers in. If this question is cold calling, and I just laid out the process, obviously, and you have my inputs, and if you just go back and watch the video, I shared the exact same process how I get carriers. That's it, right? So David says this is great, awesome. So that really helps. Let's go here. Teos says, do you need a CRM software to proceed with the steps that you presented? Yes. Awesome. Great question. And I love that there's some people, they're technical. They really need to know like how we connect things. Yes, I used to use a ClickFunnels. Well, I use ClickFunnels for many different reasons, and I love the company. And so I do. We have our own software, our CRM that we connect, and inside that software that we built is basically built by dispatcher for the dispatchers. And obviously, we have the January as a launch date. This is a software that I been working for over at least 4 years now. Building this system. And like I had the idea, obviously, and we put a lot of work to building this system for you guys, and it will be live on January. This is basically, it's just one place where you have all the like marketing and text, building your sales funnels, everything. It will be inside that one platform. So if you don't have that yet, what you do is just basically connecting software to your software, meaning if you're using ClickFunnels for building the sales process, then ClickFunnels, they don't have the the calendar. So for the calendar, you will be using what we call the Calendly. There is a company, it's a free of charge. You can use that. It's basically you just integrate Calendly with your sales process, and obviously those two software communicating with each other, where people just proceed to that, and then they will click and then schedule a call using the Calendly. It's free. Now, as far as sending emails, there are several options out there, and more than welcome if you wanted to send me an email, and then I will just give you a list of those email marketing software out there or CRM. One that we use is ActiveCampaign, and again, inside the software that we are building is almost finished. Is basically we do have our own email marketing system that it sends automatically. It's just already built in. But if you're using, for example, ClickFunnels, then you will be connecting, for example, ActiveCampaign is one of them, MailChimp, ConvertKit, MailLite, or something like that. I can't remember the exact name, but there are many out there, email marketing software. You can search for those software out there. Use basically a free version of it. It will do the job when you're starting out, right? So when you start getting a lot of carriers, that means you need to upgrade, but don't pay thousands of dollars for it. Now, hope that helps. Moving on. Ashraf says the internet connection is poor. Line is dropping a number of times. Can I have a recorder of this? I don't know. Not many people, saying this. I think I'm not sure about the recorded, but So if you guys have this problem, just let me know. If there's dropping, is a poor connection or something like that. But other than that, not sure about the recorded. Maybe we'll post, maybe not. We'll see. Now, let's go. Any kind of cold call, it is a numbers game. Awesome. Awesome. 100% agree. Yes. Now, let's go. Adama says, hey, Kamal, I did a truck broker course. Okay. And again, for those of you who are interested in the courses and the programs, guys, I don't teach broker side of it. If you're really into this, you can learn. I don't know. Like, I have no inputs when it comes to broker training. I don't do that. So, but obviously, this person, well, Adama, taking the broker course, not an independent freight dispatching course or something like that, last November. And I don't still know where to start. Okay. Okay. What do I do to get customers? Customers, in your case, when you said I took a broker course, that means you want to get shippers. Shippers, they are your customers, right? Well, at the same time, you need carriers, obviously connecting. But if you have shippers, be honest with you, you use that to get carriers. And again, you can do that only legally if you are a broker and you have a broker license. Then you can do that. Have shippers, then use that as a bait and invite carriers. So I'm thinking of taking your dispatcher course. Maybe that would help. Please advise. Okay, so Adama, here is the thing. I don't have a course. And be honest with you, I hate when people saying course, because course is just an information. It's just like felt really cold. It's just like course, you buy it, you just start watching those videos. No. What I have is a coaching program, right? So the coaching program is this is where like me and my team helping you to start your business and grow your business. That's what it is. So yes, we can definitely help you. And again, if you're interested, please shoot me an email and I will share my email for those of you who are interested. And if you have any questions, there is email below. Now, let's take some questions. And Adama, I hope this helps. And again, as I said, your customers are the shippers. And yes, we can teach you how to get shippers. And obviously, this is where we need to kind of tweak it a little bit, not teach you how to become a broker because you already, took that course and you know that. And be honest with you, we don't teach how to become, brokers. But getting the carriers, like marketing and sales, I'm not going to say that it's exactly the same, but the strategies and tactics are the same and remains the same. Okay. So you just need to get shippers on board. Okay. So then obviously we need to create the strategy and tactic, how you can get shippers on board, and obviously using some tools and getting carriers on board. And I think that will be the great combination because carriers, especially nowadays, they're really looking for working with shippers directly rather than using load boards. And by the way, guys, when it comes to load boards, and as you can guys know, I love DAT. I've been working for years for this company, and we do have a 30-day free trial. So there is a link below this video, which is go ahead and you can check out the DAT Power Load Board Trucker's Edge. It just play around if you really into this and you kind of scared a little bit and I don't know how to book loads. Watch the videos that I have in this video, like load board training, whatnot, and then just sign up for 30-day free trial. You don't have to pay. Like you can save a couple $100. It's just like 30-day free trial. We have 30 full days to try out that tool. It's basically click here, click there. You will feel the confidence that, hey, I can do this, right? So this one of the reasons why I do recommend is basically just fighting this fear of failing. Some people, it's just like really strange. Without any trying, obviously people just get scared of this. Like I have the fear of failing. I have the fear of, X, Y, and Z. I was like, there's a 30-day free trial. Like links will below this video. There is a code and you can see that there's a link. And then right after there is a code. You can use that code to get your 30-day free trial. You can use my name, which is Kamal, or you can use my company name and you can just sign up. They will help you. And obviously, you start clicking here and there. How? There is a video on YouTube channel, load board training. Just watch and just play around. You will feel confident about this, and you can definitely do this. Now, hope that helps. And obviously, yes, we can help you getting the shippers on board. That's no problem. If you have a broker's license, that will make the process really easy, because we can basically teach you how to get shippers on board, but then we can't legally advise you go do it if you don't have a broker license, because y- in order to just use getting the clients on board, meaning shippers, you must have a broker license. This is very important, and hope that makes sense. Okay, Jarvish says, what about posting on Indeed? Now, it's a great question. Obviously, we need to talk about a little bit more when it comes to, okay, when you say it's like posting on Indeed, do you mean, let me stop this. If you guys have this, email, that's awesome. And by the way, guys, we do have a Facebook group. We share a lot of great stuff, be honest with you, on like the members, private members, they get a lot of advantage of like learning independent freight dispatching. We have about 12,000 people. That's the link. You just basically go type dispatch trucks on the Facebook, and you can find the group. So let's talk about this a little bit more. When you say posting on Indeed, that means posting what? Getting carriers, or what was it? Just be more specific, and I'll do my best to help. But again, posting on Indeed, think about when you post something on Indeed, what's the intention? You need a job, right? That's the number one reason why this monster, and obviously this Indeed, it's basically helping you connect with to think about it this way, employees connecting with employers. That is the number one goal for these platforms. And obviously you can use and tweak a little bit in here and there, and then find people that way. But I heard there's some people doing this, getting carriers on board by, well, they have I think the specific strategies and tactics how to use Indeed. But I be honest with you, I never used Indeed when it comes to like searching for carriers. But I used Indeed, this platform, for getting drivers when I was a carrier, right? And again, I use past tense because I was a carrier. I'm no more carrier, right? So I'm not a carrier anymore. But I was in the flatbed market, and I owned about 4 trucks. Now, that's basically, I don't have anything specific to share with you, but you can give it a try and test things and see what happens. Now, awesome. Let's go. Hey, Kamal. Hi. Thank you for the invite to the live. Awesome. And by the way, before we get here, so when this, and again, I don't have the name. Maybe SB is your name. Maybe it's your company name. But here is the deal. Now, you see that the YouTube icon right next to the name. That means she or he is a subscriber. What I mean by that is that's the advantage. When I post something, they immediately get notified that there is a new video posted by Dispatch Trucks or something like that, right? And the second thing is that invite is basically, yes, I do invite people, and we have the mailing list, and whatever something comes new or something like that, or we're launching something new, our mailing list, they know the first, right? They notify it first. Okay. So how you get on that list, there is a link below. It's just like, it's a free gift, and it says startup guide. When you download that startup guide, it will automatically add your email and put into the mailing list, and you'll be getting emails and awesome value from those emails. So your question, what days, times are you doing these now? What link to use to access them? Awesome. Days remains the same. days, the Tuesdays and obviously Friday. So we really, it's a combination. I was out of country in the combination of a little bit of sickness. And then obviously we're building this platform, which is DispatchWise is the software. It's basically built by dispatchers for the dispatchers by love. So we're working on that. All my team, everybody would just, 100% focus on this because, launch date coming up, which is, January the 2nd on Monday. So the beta testers will be our paid students first. We'll be giving them access first, and obviously then we'll be open to general public. That's basically the plan. So Tuesdays and Fridays. Tuesdays 5 p.m. Eastern time. Friday it will be 12 p.m. Eastern time. Tuesdays 5 p.m. Eastern time. Friday will be 12 p.m. Eastern time. So hope that helps. Let's go. David says, Kamal, will the less expensive ClickFunnels package for work in a new business? Okay, will the less expensive ClickFunnels package work for a new business? 97, I think they're the least expensive. 97, believe it or not, we used for many years, just like paying $97, just having sales funnels up and running. Absolutely, you can do that. And again, if you're going to sign up, just shoot me an email. I'll have a couple of really cool stuff for you before you join, right? So, and they also, if they have the 2.0. So they did a funnel hacking live this year, which is September. I was there, and it was basically, it was awesome. But then the 2.0 is already live. So if you really have a couple of questions and before joining or sign up, I have a couple of things to share with you. Don't join yet, email me. And again, here's an email. And for those of you, if you want to, sign up for ClickFunnels, if you want to, just email me. And I do have, some important things considering before signing up for ClickFunnels. Now, what we are going to do, and yes, to answer your question, yes, absolutely, $97 per month with the ClickFunnels will work. Will do the job. Now, let me, take this, and I do have a couple more questions, and then we're good to go. If you have questions, please let me know. Zishan says, hey, Kamal, hi, great stuff as always, awesome. How do we bypass the brokers and get shippers directly? Great question. So bypassing brokers and working directly with shippers as an independent freight dispatcher is illegal, right? You are not allowed to do that. I really wanted to kind of stay on this and emphasize this and just make it clear that working directly with shippers as an independent freight dispatcher, at least in the United States, it's illegal. You cannot do that. No. That's a big no. Why? Because you need a broker's license for this. Okay. Now, you can use carriers to attract shippers. Then you can do that. And obviously, you need to know the marketing and strategies, how you can use carriers to approach the shippers, saying, hey, I work with, or you're just basically representing the company, the carrier. Basically, when you're talking to a shipper, you're talking on behalf of the carrier and using the carrier's information. I'll give you an example. My carrier side of the business name is, the company still exists, by the way, but then it's Prime Express. So if you're an independent freight dispatcher, and we, let's say, connected, we are working together, and you represent my company, and I'll give you a list of shippers. Maybe you have a list of shippers, and you start contacting them, right? And when you start contacting them, you're talking, meaning you're having a conversation with them, saying that you are the Prime Express, right? You're not mentioning your company name, because shippers, they don't work with independent freight dispatching companies. They work with carriers and brokers. This is very important, right? So there is a step, obviously. So if you really want to remove the brokers out of the equation, you need to first find the carriers and saying that, hey, carrier, I'll be using your name to attract carriers just for this carrier. It's not just using my company, Prime Express, and talking to shippers saying, hey, I'm calling behalf of, you're not basically saying behalf, you're basically saying, hey, my name is so-and-so, calling from Prime Express, right? And we do X, Y, and Z. You're pitching the idea, and whatever the loads you get from this shipper, you just assigning to Prime Express. You're not using my MC and you're dispatching multiple, carriers. No, no, no. That's a big no. That's illegal to do it, right? One carrier, one shipper, or one carrier, multiple shippers, but not using one carrier, multiple shippers, multiple carriers to dispatch. No. Obviously, there is a name. I mean, there's a game and there's rules, right? So it's very important, and hope this makes sense. Now, let's go. Adama says, yes, indeed, lots of useful information. Thanks. You're welcome. As long as you know like what I'm talking about, you're taking notes and implementing it, I'm good to go. And again, let's go. Let's take this. Jarvis says, I have fear of failing. I really don't want it to fail, and then I procrastinate. Let me, Jarvis, I don't know. And there, about an average about 50 people watching this. And obviously this video will be, I would say, because you guys asked for it, I'll just, post it, and this video will be live. I want to say something very important, since I don't know many of you, because you guys all around the world, right? And then I want to say something, about fear of failing. Don't you think that I had the same problem? Like that fear of failing, I think it's always there, and it never go away. Anytime I really want to do something new, although it's not for bragging, I think this will be for just information purposes. And again, maybe you guys, forgot this. I have these 4 books to share with you. Just stick with me. New things, new ideas. Think about this software that we are launching to the world. I have fear of failing. I do have fear of failing. Every YouTube channel, YouTube videos, every live YouTube videos, including this, before this video, I had this fear of failing. Something that the voice inside is just always there saying that, hey, something will just go wrong. I don't know. It's just a human psychology. The voice is there, obviously, but I just don't procrastinate. I just do it, right? And when I don't procrastinate, and what will happen, I fail a lot. And I did fail a lot. And I did a lot of failings, be honest with you. And I did fail a couple of businesses. And I failed really with my trucking business. I failed really, really badly. I learned I never give up. I'm still planning to start. I started with car hauling business. I'm also planning to, I'm also working on the software for the car hauling business, obviously, and I really love cars, and I'm really planning to start that business. I have that, on my list, on that task on my list, but I do have fear of failing. So I have 5 kids. I do have fear of failing. Like I really want to be a good father for them, right? And that fear of failing is always there. I want to share something really, I think it's too personal, but I really, really want to share this because a lot of people, struggling with this, and I really feel really connected when you said I have fear of failing, and I really don't want to fail, and I procrastinate. So I have 5 kids, and 4 of my kids, they're in school, obviously different grades. But then 3 of my kids, came to me and obviously would fail in grade. It happens, you guess what? It's mathematics, it's a math. It's just hard to grasp the idea, right? So since the beginning and always, they were very, very young, I was pushing the idea of entrepreneurship. So the only thing you wanted to do this in this world, think about what I do, is just work for yourself. Don't work for anybody else. That's my idea, guys. And this is what I teach for my kids, like work for yourself. And one of my child, he's a boy, and he got 68 on math. But then obviously we were traveling, and he didn't put it work. And you know what happened? And like he really scared to share this with me. But then I said, be honest with you, I really wanted you to fail. That's exactly what I said, and I can do a live with him, and then he can say the exactly same thing. And I said, I just want you to fail. And he's really like he's puzzled. He said, "Listen, like you said that getting good grades, obviously learning and then implementing, and then start your own business. Now you said, failing." I said, "Yes, but fail. But then I want you to improve it. I want you to fail, and don't be scared failing." And like that, be honest with you, when I said that, I feel really weird. I feel something weird inside. But then I realized that it really works. Now, like he's getting good grades. But even then, when I have a conversation with them, they come to my office and they're helping here and there. I say that don't be scared of failing. Fail it. I'm really okay with that. Fail it. It's you can do whatever you want. It's your life. I know, school it's boring. I say that. And again, when I say this, it's it's something weird's happening inside me. I don't know. It's a brain wired to, I don't know, general, social thing out there that we would push these ideas that install into our minds. But I really do say that. I said, like, school is boring, but it's really important for you, just like for your mind, connecting things, for your brain. Obviously, just like you have to be competitive, right? So if you just fail at this, but look at this, like your social studies is 100, like here 100 here, 100 there. Like, don't take this small measure and then think that, hey, this is the entire me. It's just like a little piece of you that's failed, right? So failing, like, I'm sharing really, really something personal. I failed a lot. I'm still failing. I'm building something. To think about just simple thing, building a sales funnel, launching to the world, boom, failing. Start something, failing. A lot of things, guys, will. And I think, don't think that failing will just go away. As I said, right before starting this live training, I had a fear of failing. Something that tells me, hey, something will go wrong. You will fail at this. That voice inside, like, I'm about 40 years old, but think about 40 years old, and I still have that fear. I was playing soccer for about 17 years back in my country. I had this feel of failing. Every time there's a competition, tournaments, fear of failing kicks in. It's the procrastination or procrastinating. I think that's the killer. I think I had a little bit of it, but I think I overcome when I was studying back in, like, I studied in psychology and a little bit of a law. Yes, I don't have a law degree, but I studied law a little bit. I'm really interested in becoming a lawyer, maybe in the future. So I did procrastinate a lot. I did procrastinate a lot, and then I have I learned a couple of tactics, here and there that I implemented, and it's just like I'm pushing forward. So failing, it's not like failing is not an option. Failing is an option. I think we need to fail a lot so that we can learn. And one of my mentors told me that, hey, like, when one of these books, it really will help you, and I will share it with you guys. I think this is the time to share it with you. And again, coming back to you and like procrastinating, and you don't really want it to fail. I really wanted to say this: if you really don't want it to fail, you never will succeed. Like, this is a bold statement, I know. Maybe you can say, Kamal, how do you know? Like, I have hundreds of thousands of students, I would say, and hundreds of thousands of people following, and then I have a huge audience that I communicate. I have people, friends, and families. Well, if I have successful people, successful students, successful friends, they failed a lot. I know that. And coming back to my life, I failed a lot. If you take a look at my life, I'm 40 years old. Think about this: 40 years, maybe about, I don't know, 80, 85, 90% of failing. Think about when we were, we couldn't walk. What we did, we failed a lot, failed, and we start learning how to walk. I think failing should be an option. So if you just like, failing is not an option, I will just like do this, and that's procrastinating is the devil. I think that's the killer right there. So you have fear of this, and you procrastinate. You don't want to do this. You avoiding the pain. That's it. And now you have a bigger pain. Think about a lot of people. Think I had the student that she joined about a month ago, and she's been following me for about 3 years. That's what she told me. For 3 years, that was the exact same thing. And I said, like, why 3 years? Like, you could have just like scheduled a call with me and we can hop on a quick call and we can talk about this. And she said, Kamal, like, I had this fear of failing. So if I can start this, fail, and this X, Y, and Z, and then that's it. And I procrastinated for 3 years. And she missed a lot of opportunities. Now she started a business and she started generating revenue for her business. And that fear is still persists. It's still persists and it's still there. Okay. Hope this helps. Now, okay, let's take this. Okay. And then the fleet size will matter. Fleet size, yes, it is matter. Can you think of a number of fleet size when it comes to link up with shippers, Walmart, Home Depot? Okay, so meaning getting shippers on board, then the number of trucks matter. Is that the question? Yes and no. It depends on your market, obviously. But for majority shippers out there, I would say, and again, size of the shipper really matter. Like if this shipper ships, I don't know, twice a week, then 1 or 2 trucks will be enough. They're a mid-size maybe shipper, and they ship, I don't know, 5 weeks a day. I mean, 5 weeks. 5 days a week. Maybe they're like mega shippers out there, like Home Depot, like Walmart. They need hundreds of thousands of carriers. Yes, really, you really need to think about like niching down on like how many carriers I want, what type of loads I really want to move. Those are the things. It is very, very important. And if you just blindly go there and okay, I have a couple of carriers here, and then I want to go shippers. What type of shippers? Just think about what type of shippers you want. Maybe I can just hook you up with a shipper. I have hundreds of shippers that I know here, in my state. Just let me know. But then, what do you want to move? Right? Is it the produce? Is it the lumber? What is it? Maybe you have a ship. I mean, maybe you have a flatbed. Maybe you have a car hauler. Maybe you have a box truck. Maybe you have a drive-in reefer. I don't know. Right? I need shippers. What type of shippers do you need? Is it the local? Is it the nationwide? Think about. This is very important. When you ask these questions, now you have a plan. Right? So this is very important. I hope this helps. But again, yes, when you said Walmart and Home Depot, mega carriers, oh, yeah, hundreds of trucks. Yes. And getting those contracts is not easy, by the way. Right? So, but I'm not saying it's not doable. It is doable. But then, like, you must have a solid plan. And I talked about this, like, what type of, but when you say Walmart's in hundreds of thousands of different products. What do you want to move? Is it the frozen? So Walmart, they have the flatbed, they have a drive-in, they have reefer. See that? Like, now we're talking about 3 different markets. When you say Walmart has meat. Walmart has vegetables, frozen, products. Walmart also sells what? Chairs. Think about like paint, a lot of things, right? Onion. Think about, if I say frozen, think about, reefer market. When I say, potatoes, onions, think about drive-in, right? When I say, gosh, what I can say, like, there's some equipments out there. I don't know. They're like chairs, or I don't know. Think about, I don't know, sand or something like that. That they must have a flatbed, a different equipment for that, right? So, in box trucks as well. Hope that helps. Let's go to this question. Since some TMS systems helps keep independent freight dispatcher organized with a good informed workflow, is it worth the money for a new business to invest in it? I would say, if expecting to onboard several carriers soon. Well, great question, by the way. Now, what I want to say is, when you have a problem in your business, first of all, it's good that you have a business and you have a plan. I mean, the problem, and you searching for a solution. Now, it's all it's about the problem you have. Like, what do you want to solve, right? When you say getting organized, what do you mean, right? So, do you mean it's just like all my shippers in one side, all my carriers on one side, and I want to just manage my invoicing, and I want to see all of it inside, or I want to be able to send emails, text messages, and then I want to see the reporting. Well, see that when you go in like really in details, in depth, and now you see clear picture of what you're looking for. Well, people say something like TMS software, something like that, or CRM. Now you're like thinking, I need a CRM, I need a tool, because those people using CRM. But there are different CRM out there, different software out there, or different TMS out there. Like, what type of problem do you have, right? And by the way, if you're searching one for everything, doesn't exist. I wish I could have done it, but like create a software for you guys, or TMS for my business and as well as your business. It doesn't exist because it's too complicated. It becomes too general, and people who are creating these software CRM, they know the importance of niching down. See that? Now, what I'm talking about. So they are CRM or software out there. If you're thinking management side of it, or think about onboarding, think about managing your employees, adding, removing, those kind of things, tracking. So, or think about finance. Now is a different story. Think about QuickBooks. See that? Now, what about sales and marketing? Now you need pipelines. You need, omni-channel, I would say, communication platform. Includes obviously the reporting, whatnot. You can go in many different directions, by the way, with this, right? But you must be very, very specific. What do you need as far as CRM, as far as software goes? So the system that we're building, the CRM, the software that we're building is, and there is your question, like, which TMS do you like the best? And again, which one? Like, I have the best software that I use for my email marketing. That's the number one tool that I use. What about sales funnel? We're building what about your marketing, for example, right? Kamal, what's your best CRM? And I'll say it's a ClickFunnels or our software that we're about to launch. That's what I love, for example. Kamal, what about the finance or finances? What I would say the tool that I use is maybe it's a QuickBooks, or it's a Bench, or it's X, Y, and Z. It's like, which TMS do you like or best? You need to give me like proper guidance, and like I really want to know which one. For the email marketing, the best platform out there, or the CRM that we use, is an ActiveCampaign. And there are many, many reasons why I like ActiveCampaign. See that? So, Kamal, then what about the scheduling software? Like, there are hundreds of thousands of scheduling software out there, but I like Calendly. One is free. The second is very simple to use. Their workflows, it's awesome. There's notifications sent to your carriers, and obviously to you. It's very easy to integrate. See that? Now, you need to be specific when it comes to like what's a TMS, right? So if you are a carrier and if you want to manage your dispatchers and how many loads you booked, all the carriers information, the shippers information, and brokers that you worked in the past, maybe in the future, ITS dispatch will be best option. When I was a carrier, I used ITS dispatch by Truckstop. And I think that's by far the best tool that I've ever used as far as TMS goes. Okay, so don't confuse. And I know, and I did a video, obviously, and maybe I'll link that video to this video where I'll talk about different like CRM and the software is this, and TMS is different, right? So you guys need to know the differences, because I messed up when I was starting out. And coming back to your question, like, is it worth the money for a business? I don't know. Like, I can't say anything about your business. But for my business, absolutely every penny that I spend for or invest in any tools, it's worth it. Why? Is because we need tools to move forward with our business. The entire sales process that I showed you, I use tools to just connect this and make it perfect and present to you, right? And this is what we're using. Without tools, wouldn't be existed. Okay, hope that makes sense. Let's go. Faizan, facing a huge problem to get carriers. Well, I think we already talk about this, and if you just missed it, I did answer your question. Okay, so okay, this is some good sauce. Awesome, cool. Now I'll wait for your questions, and then I'll go ahead and obviously for those people, where we have about like 40 people, sit to the end just to go over these 4 books that I have, and one before we go into this. And again, if you have questions, guys, whatever we talked about, anything, just you guys let me know, and then I'll do my best to help you. So, one thing, 4 books that I'm about to share with you, that they are here. These are the books that changed my business upside down. There's no question about it. And obviously, life too. So one book that's really, really changed my life, including my business as well. There's one book, and I want to really go into details. And if you guys have questions, let me know. So let's get started. One, the one book is obviously it really connects everything, and I think it's towards the mindset, or human psychology, or human life, anything like that. Think about, and when we come to this book, we'll talk about this. And one is basically, whatever you have, you creating an irresistible offer. So one of my mentors, Russell Brunson, he uses this a lot. The irresistible offer, I was ignoring for a number of years, but then it's just like it's a huge part of it. Like anything you do, you're just basically taking your skills and creating it irresistible so people can resist. When you present your offer to your, like, to carriers, or to your people, they can't resist. They just can't say no to your offer. And a lot of people suffering from this, it's just basically creating an offer, not irresistible offer. It's just an offer out there, and then they're trying to make money out of it, or trying to serve people and generate revenue for their businesses. Absolutely, that's a mistake that I did, and I don't want you to make that mistake. So that is that, and how to solve that problem, and how to create irresistible offer is basically positioning yourself as an authority in any market, and obviously dictate, right? Dictate basically meaning people will just listen to you, and saying that, hey, this is what I have. It's not about what you have, and then you're coming into my world and saying, this is what I have, and do this in X, Y, and Z. No, we don't do that, and we don't teach our students to, like, we teach exactly same thing what is offered in this business. Obviously, we have taken it a little bit further, meaning you come into my world, and this is how I operate my business, right? And then you'll be using whatever we offer to you. It's not, hey, I'm in the flatbed market, but I'm planning to get the drive-ins and adding some, reefer, and then I don't work with X, Y, and Z factoring out. Not a ideal client for us. Well, maybe we can just refer it to as, somebody else, but I don't think we are a right fit. And we just, don't work with those people. And that's what I mean by dictate. It's not a negative term when I say dictate. It's just basically we create a ecosystem, and we invite people so that they can use our ecosystem, and then this is how we thrive. Now, the number one, when it comes to just creating irresistible offer, the number one book is An Expert's Secret by Russell Brunson. So a little bit of a detail about this. By reading this book, you will basically create your irresistible offer. When you finish this book, you will have a irresistible offer. People just can't resist. Just can't say, well, if they're a right fit, obviously. And they are really key marketing strategies in this book. I highly, highly recommend Expert Secrets by Russell Brunson. This is an awesome book. Now, have you heard this term? This is the second book that I really want to share with you. Have you heard about this term when people say, don't work in your business, you work on your business, by creating an SOPs, by basically systemizing your business, and obviously hire people so that they can use system, so that you can remove your self from the system. Is basically you just managing it. You're not in the business, and you can live the life you want by not being in your business, because your business can quickly just just like take you in that business as it's just like just drag you down as a monster and it will just eat you up. That's it. You lost your lifetime. It's gone, right? Creating businesses is huge. And this book that I'm about to share with you, this is where I was really struggling with my business when it comes to hiring people, systemizing it, creating SOPs, whatnot, and how I just basically connect things together so that I can just remove myself, not being in the business every single day, but I'm being on the business so I can manage. It's basically this idea is create a system with your business, create a system. And there are a lot of examples. It's just like storytelling type of thing. It just really resonates and you will have a clear picture. Oh, missing this and I need to connect this. Even if you don't have a business, I highly recommend reading this book. I'm not affiliated by any means by these authors. Like, not affiliated meaning they're not paying me, just promoting this. It's just basically this is a value to you guys, right? So this book is the E-Myth by Michael Gerber, right? So this is the book, guys. I don't know. I think I read this. As you can see, it's just like very, very old. I read it at least 6 or 7 times. Guys, this book is just like it will just create a business systems for you, and then it'll just quickly remove your system. I mean, you remove yourself from the system. And again, coming back to this idea of it just basically helps you identify this missing parts. If you don't have those, create those and start connecting and plug it in as like you have these pieces of a puzzle, and this book basically helping you just identify and just take that and create it and say, okay, so this piece goes here and this piece goes here. And once you have this up and running system, now remove yourself. How? By adding people, right? So you have this marketing department, you have operation department, and even if it helps you by organizing your business, meaning, okay, if you're a CEO, who's your vice president? So if you are a vice president, who's your marketing director, or who's your like X, Y, and Z? Like, so this org chart you have, and it will just plug it in your name if you're just like one man show like me, and then it will be like you all over the place. But then if you do marketing and sales, like what are your process and systems, so you can just add somebody here and remove yourself from that system, meaning marketing and sales. So when I started doing sales myself, I quickly realized that, well, I think 90% of my time it just goes to sales calls. And I started creating SOPs, and obviously a lot of ideas from this book, right? And then started like teaching people like how I do it. It just like I use tools, how I do this, and then basically just whatever I have in my mind or in my brain, I just plug it into a system. I'll just hire people and I'll show them this is how I do it, and then I'll remove myself. I was building sales funnels myself. Then I quickly realized that, hey, I can remove quickly myself, and I'll just show them that, hey, this is the tool that I use. This is the training videos you have. That's it. You have my time just, supporting you. Go ahead and do it. And then, by just doing that, you start removing yourself. Now you just basically become a CEO of your company. It's not hard, but it's a simple process. It's not as simple to achieve that, but it's doable. It's definitely doable, but then you need obviously ideas, and this help will give you those ideas and help you along the way. Now, a lot of people will say, and this is the third book, people will say, come on, like if I built this, will I share this process with you, the sales funnel, the sales process that I have, then how are we driving a traffic? Meaning, how am I going to get people to that particular thing that you showed us? How am I going to invite or get people to see my website or come to check out what I offer, right? It's all about traffic. Traffic is basically, in marketing language, means leads, people. It's real people coming to your website. How to do it, where to get it, everything is in this book, right? A lot of students asked me about this, and I was teaching, and basically I use a lot of concepts from this book, and it works. It works like a magic, be honest with you. And when I started sharing this with my students, I said, go ahead and read it. And those people, those students who read this, they have careers. It's just simple as that. I don't like, guys. English is my third language. I don't. I can't like just over exaggerate things so that you can believe and trust that, hey, this works. I just keep it simple. This works, and I'm just bringing the value to your life, guys. Like, he is one of my mentors, right? So I'm his inner circle. He is my mentor. I'm not getting paid by just showing this book. I'm not even giving you the link. You just go search for Amazon or go search online. Get this book, guys. This is very important. So if you need a link, just email me, and then I will send you the link. You can buy it if you wanted to. But if you need people specifically, like, think about people. When I say your people is different, you're an independent freight dispatcher. Your people are carriers. You need carriers. This book will help you get your carriers, right? But you definitely need to implement. You need to definitely take the ideas. You know what? What I like, about Russell Brunson, he just basically just goes step by step. He basically reveals everything. It's not just like a strategy. It's like the strategy plus tactic, and basically this is how you can do it. Do this. Go do this. Like, literally on this book, and he said, like, just stop reading it. Go and implement right now, and just come back and just continue reading it. That's how it's practical. It's really, really in depth. It's an awesome book. Now, I think this is where how to present this book. And we've been talking about for an hour and a half, but this book, it changed my life, be honest with you. I think many of you maybe read this book already, but if not, the first thing, well, here in Eastern time was we already, it's dark here, but then you just, next morning, you just get this book and start reading it. If you can, just download right now the audio version. Go use whatever the platform's using, Audible, anything. Just search for this book and start listening. You know what will happen, be honest with you. And a lot of people say this. I was like, I think this is a hype. I was just ignoring this book. I was like, man, I don't think so. I think it's an over exaggeration. People just, people will tell you that something, magical about this book, be honest with you. It's just like, it has this influence. Like, this completely changed my life, the way I operate, my business, the way I operate myself, the way how I behave, the way how I changed as a person. This book has the great impact. I want to just, since it's really, really awesome book, and it's really important to me, and I really want this book to change your life. And obviously, if you allow to, and it will, think about any courses or programs out there when you sign up, gone over the training, and didn't happen. And do you know why? Why it's not happening? When you start a business and you try it, and then it's not happened, and you couldn't do it, and it's failed. And I was there, and I failed it a lot, and I failed the school, and I failed my business, my trucking business, and a couple of online businesses, obviously. And I didn't know that what's happening. So I was taking, when I was in school, like, here and there I do good here, but then I failing here, and then overall I failed, and I keep changing the majors. I was like basically falling behind. I was losing a lot of money. I didn't like why it's happening. So I think most of us will relate to this. If you bought the course in the past, or the program, or anything like that, you're trying to learn a new skill, I would say, and it's just like, did it work for you? Who do you judge? Do you judge yourself, or do you like, that guy didn't do a great job and he couldn't explain, and this is why I just like failed it? Now you're looking for a different option, and different person, different, company that you think that these people will help you. Well, it's all about, be honest with you, it's all about psychology. It's all about mindset. So this book changed. If you know any guru out there, any guru, you name it, anything that you've been following in your community, any guru, Trust me, ask them, they read this book. Any celebrity, any actors, anybody you just think, they read this book. Any marketing gurus out there, any like huge businesses out there, Shark Tank, all the sharks, if you watch that show Shark Tank, all of them, they read this book. Guys, this book is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Tell me if you guys read this book, just let me know if you did, and let me know how this book. There's something really special about this book. I'm not gonna go into details and saying like how it changed and why it changed. Be honest with you, how it changed, we can talk, but like the influence that I got from this book, it's still a mystery. Like before reading this book, I was a one person, and right after finishing this book, and I started, reading one more time. I usually read, twice, and it's not that the comprehension. I think it's because of the English is my third language. I just really wanted to grasp the idea. First time I read, like I really get excited, and then second time I read really slowly. I'm taking notes and I'm basically consuming the book. Now it will transform, and I don't want to go into details. I really want to at least listen to audio version of this book, and just allow this book to change your life, and it will change. Right? Just come back and then just email me and tell me, what did you experience when you read this? And there are a lot of principles, really, really, I think 2 to 3 principles in this book that if you implement one of them, it will change your business and your life completely. Trust me on this one. Go do research on this book and see how many reviews people, like, even if you can just like search celebrities reading this book and just, read it and see what they say about this book. I'm not going to go into details, but basically these are the book. If you just joined, I just have this book one more time, Secret by Russell Brunson. And I have this by Michael Gerber, the Emit Revised. If you wanted to systemize your business, if you need people to hit your, business, like your website, Traffic Secrets by Russell Brunson is your book. And obviously all of them, in order to like work these, you need to read this. So if you skip these, it just will be entertaining purposes only, and it can't do the job for you, right? You really need this, right? It's a mindset. And what we talked about is about, fear of, failing, fear of missing, anything like that. Those are the books. So any questions? Let me, I think this is let me have this question real quick. Ashraf says, what's the difference, this seminar, webinar, okay, and your training? So the difference is in a seminar, and I would say webinar. Let's talk about the webinar. Webinar, it is a training. In the webinar, it could be like very specific thing, and then obviously it will be in an opportunity to sell, for example, right? I'm selling something. Then you can do a webinar and saying, hey, I'm doing X, Y, and Z if you want to work with me, and I can, help. So the training, in a free training, is basically this. I'm serving my subscribers, my community, in people in the transportation industry, in the trucking industry, people are independent freight dispatchers, people who are interested in starting their businesses. I'm just here to serve people, and I'm offering my free training. That's the difference. So webinar, usually it's when you schedule a specific time in advance, and it could be automated, it could be live, but again, those are the like online events. Think about it that way. So guys, we said that there will be an option at the end of the video to work with me. If you guys want to work with me, there will be a link below this video, so you can just basically download the free startup guide. You will start receiving emails from me, just basically presenting whatever the offer that I have. And again, like, no one thing that this offer is not for everybody, and there is a obviously purpose behind this. Is like, we are serious about this. We are a company that people, teaching people how to become independent freight dispatchers, but we don't just teaching people, hey, this is an independent freight dispatching. This is what it is, and that's it. Here's your certificate. Go. No, we are there until you get your first carrier. So we're committed. If you are committed, then you can definitely join the program, and there will be a link below. And if you want to send me an email, info@dispatchtrucks, send me, and then I will send you more information about it. So since we're closing this year already, and one thing is that we're increasing the price, and I don't want you surprised, and guys, don't think that this is another tactic that I'm just pushing. And it's basically increasing the price because we are giving away the system that I showed you, the exact process that you saw. We're just giving away for our students, and if you want to be part of it, you can just basically just sign up for the free guide that we have on this channel, and then you will start receiving emails, and then you will receive an offer, or you can email me, and I will just guide you how you can become part of our community. So we do have a closed group where we have only paid students. And if you're part of the 12,000 members we have, is the general public. We don't offer any paid courses out there, but then we do have a coaching program in a closed Facebook group. How it works, I'm not gonna promise the world to you guys, but this is, we have people, but and again, this will be I'm not gonna just income claim or something like that, but there are a lot of people generating revenue for their businesses, and they're getting carriers, and actually we hold their hands so that they can get carriers and start generating revenue. And one of the reasons we do that is because we believe that it's all about mentorship. It's not about just the course pre-recorded videos out there. You just like pay for it and just go and start watching videos, and you get your certificate, and now what? Now you even have more questions, right? So what we do is basically we give you everything you need. You need what's everything? The everything, basically, you need to build a system. We will give you the system. We built it, we test it, we're using it, we'll give you the copy. So you saw this exact 4 steps. So if you allow me to go back, and this is what it is, right? This is the opt-in page, and this is the sales page, right? This is the sales page, okay? And this is the application page. This is where we're qualifying people, and this is scheduling, and obviously this is the thank you page. And all of this, you get this. You get from us is basically you are taking, our business. It's just like you're just adding your logo, your color, and you have our permission to use it. We know that not many people, they're tech savvy. We understand that, right? Not many people can. We used to be honest with it. We used to offer templates saying, "Hey, this is how you write your emails." Some people just crushed it, and a lot of people just, Kamal, I don't know how to write emails. Even if you have these templates, I don't know, right? And then we're like, okay, text messages, text marketing works, and here's the template. You just go, guys, and create your text messages, then start sending to your carriers, and you get carriers. And some people just took it and crushed it, and some people just, Kamal, I don't know what platform to use. I don't know how to write text messages, right? So we brought this idea of a sales funnel sales process, and we start teaching it, and people like, well, that makes sense. That's awesome, but I don't know how to build. And we start offering them, hey, here is a template, right? So here's a template, and then there's a couple of placeholders where you can change it, so we can make this process easy and simplify it for you. And we realize that some people will take it and crush it, but then some people just like, I don't know how to connect, how to integrate. So you talked about Calendly. I don't know I know how to sign up for Calendly, but I don't know how to integrate. So then, when we're like, okay, why don't we just write emails for you? So all the emails, all the welcome emails, all the onboarding emails, pre-written for you, all the follow-up sequences, tens of emails written by the experts, and we've tested and it works. And we said, we just need to give it to them. When it comes to text messages, all the text messages that we have, give it to them, right? Now, and we thought about this, okay, what about the system? The entire system. And this is where we like, okay, we don't tell them just, hey, that's the ClickFunnels or something like that. It's just like, why don't we just design for them, create for them, connect for them, test, and just give it to them so that they can start using it immediately. That's how we different from the market. And by giving that, and we automate, so you can remove yourself. It just basically now you have the sense of this grip on your business, and it's basically you just obviously monitoring and connecting people, right? Because we've done it for you. It's done for you. Like you don't have any excuses. Be honest with you. Like, come on, I don't know how to write emails. I don't know how to connect things. I'm not tech savvy. I don't know how to build sales funnels. Even I don't know how to connect thing. I'm not an expert. It's done. It's done for you. Now, what we are doing also, we ask my copywriters to write ad copies for different ad copies, and we'll be testing those ad copies. Meaning, if you want to, use like leverage paid ads, you just basically take those, ads and start promoting it. You're not going to hire somebody or just like having this excuse like, come on, I want to run Facebook ads, but I don't know. I don't know how to. What is it? Like I don't know how to write. Ad copies. So I don't know how to use, the Facebook ads. We'll just show you how to use Facebook ads, and we'll give you the ads. But what about where am I driving traffic? I don't know. I don't have a website. We'll build for you. We designed for you, right? That's how it's different. And this is why I said if you stick to the end, I will give you like the opportunity to work with me, and this is how I work. And I really wanted to just take this because I get this a lot, and I really Logic says can I please get your course for free? Think about, I already give training courses like for free. Like this training alone, I could have charged easily like $1,000 for this. Like it's a value packed training, don't you think? But since it's free, what will happen? You just watched it, you entertained. Maybe some of you out there said, "Oh, wow, this is an awesome opportunity." It's a great, I would say, industry to go in and generate some revenue and serve some people out there. But then, I'm giving away for free now. If I go even further and I said, okay, if I give you my course for free, what about those thousands of people that paid hard-earned money? Like that's a disadvantage for them, right? So it's not right thing to do because those people already, invested. So I can't, I can't do this just simply because of that, right? So I did offer a lot of free courses when I was starting out. I wasn't successful with that, not meaning that I will be totally transparent with you, not about making money, but wasn't successful to teaching people. Why? Because think about what will happen when you get this book from your library, if you find one, and what if you go to Barnes and Noble or your local store and actually pay for this? What will happen? Think about if you get from a library for free, chances are that you're going to read this. I think the probability that you will go over this, even open this, is close to zero. So if you pay for it, the probability of reading it is high. Don't you think? Definitely, right? And then people will say something like, I'll just do it and then I'll like just allow me to get in and I'll make money and then come back. It's not fair for those people who already invested. That's the number one reason. And second, I'm not allowed to do this is because I really want the skin in the game, right? I want you to feel the pain so that you can start implementing. And actually, this is good for you. If it's just like for free and you're not taking it seriously, and for those reasons, respectively, I would say, we're not giving away for free. Although we, give a lot of, values, as, this, person says, lots of value here. Absolutely. I totally agree. Um, so, well, I have learned a lot from your videos. Awesome. If you have taken some actions, you should have seen some results already, to be honest with you. I really appreciate that. Absolutely. So let's go. Let's see. Let me take this real quick. I'm using your email templates now. That's been a huge help. Awesome. Awesome. Absolutely. Yeah. So, the email template is really good. For example, if you know what you're talking about. And obviously, it's not the words basically you're saying, but it's all about the words that you saying it correctly, using the psychology, using the techniques to present your idea so that it makes sense to other people or other person who's reading your emails. It's very important. It's not about just email writing. It's about writing the emails correctly in the right way. There's proven systems out there, and there are copywriters out there, and these people charging thousands of dollars for their services because they know that you will be generating revenue with their help. It's huge. Now, let me thank you for your help. Absolutely, you're welcome. What do you think? What type of equipment is profitable to dispatch now? That's a great question. So if you're thinking about, let's talk about the quantity and quality. When it comes to quantity, I would say drive in. You will make money because of the quantity, right? It's easy to get them on board, but then you need quantity. The more carriers you have, or the more trucks you dispatch, the more money you make. Now, the profitable for us, and I do recommend for our students as well, it's the flatbed market, obviously, and there's a lot of reasons why flatbed market. And then another one is the car hauling. And again, these are the two I think when it comes to quality, right? Quality is where you have flatbed market and obviously the car haulers. So this is where you will make a lot of money. Now, I do have, I really want to share this. Car haulers, they make a lot of money, but then there are a lot of obviously advantages and disadvantages. I think we'll, do another video and we'll talk about this, like advantages and disadvantages. So could you please tell how to convince and get the carrier? Well, first of all, the carriers, they need a little bit of a help understanding like what you do and how you can help them. Your job is basically understand what are the problems they have in their business. That's basically it. And if you're looking for something like key thing that you can just take it from me and then you just go there and then get carriers like tomorrow, it's not going to happen because there is a process. One of them I showed here already. But then think about that carrier, any carrier out there, they have if they're a business owner, they have problems. They have problems. Maybe they're good problems, they're bad problems in their businesses, but they have problems. If you know how to solve problems, you don't need to do convincing. You just like start marketing and putting yourself out there, and be honest with you, that's it. You will get attraction. You will start getting carriers. I want to share something really important. I do see about 25 people still watching this, and I think you guys taking notes, and you guys are awesome, and you want to learn. So I have one of my paid students. Maybe he's watching. So I'll just share it. What we did is that we created a TikTok account. And we start testing, here and there, and then we start testing headlines. We start testing hashtags or something like that. We come up with we cracked the code basically, right? We start getting suddenly hundreds of thousands of views. I was like, wow, like, yes, we did a little bit of a research and start testing things. And I definitely say that we cracked the code. We basically, it's about a month, maybe 2 months old. And since we are focusing on the software, to building a software and launching it, we're not posting a content, but then we still get thousands of likes, thousands of I would say views, and we have about 6,000, more than a 6,000 followers already. And it's just, if you can just take a look at that account, it just has, I don't know, 5 or 6 videos. That's it. And some of them we just had for testing purposes. Now we cracked the code in us, and really excited about it, because a lot of people just reaching out to us and say, hey, do you guys dispatch this? Do you guys dispatch that? And then I just basically shared what I did. And I think about like 15 people joined the weekly coaching call that we did on that day. One student just grabbed that idea and said, Kamal, can you give me the hashtag that you use? And I said, these are the exact hashtags. Don't change it. Don't remove anything. Just, have this. And we give them a specific time to post, the Eastern time. And said, just see the magic. And he asked me one question. I'll do it. But then his question was, man, I don't want to just put myself out there, to be honest with you. Like, I know that he doesn't want to show his face, maybe he's not ready, maybe he's nervous. I totally get it. And I said, listen, what we can do is just like have your phone and just record your screen, like load board, for example. Hey, open a load board and saying, hey, here are the load, a couple of loads going out of I don't know, Houston, Texas, going to Colorado, or Dayton, Ohio, or something like that, and just post. And what he did, he just grabbed that code that we gave him. I mean the hashtags, in a step-by-step process. We just do it. And then out of 15 students, one student just grabbed that, and he created his account and just signed up for the DAT Power, and he starts showing around, just not saying anything, like no single word, nothing. And this student, it was fairly new and it was struggling. He was like about 30 days into the training, something like that, right? About 30 days, about a month into the training. And he doesn't know what I'm talking about. He like a lot of systems, a lot of things and techniques that I share, that he just like overwhelmed. I just keep it simple. And he's like, I need carriers. Okay. So here's the thing. You just do it. As I said, out of 15, one student implemented. And what happened? The results is amazing. What happened? I think I should interview him and then let him, talk about his journey. What he did is he created the TikTok account, not saying a single word, using his phone, signed up for DAT Power for 30-day free trial. I'm assuming, I think it was a free. And he started just, showing around, not saying anything, like no single word coming out of his mouth, nothing. It's just, moving around. And he's getting thousands of views for a couple of videos that he's already posted. And he's messaging me like, it's unbelievable. He's sharing with me, saying that, let me, if you can just give me a couple seconds, I can pull the message that he sends me. There you go. So this is basically a communication that I have with him. Let me show you this, where he has this screenshot, and there is a screenshot. He basically screenshotted a carrier reach out to him and said, can you dispatch? And he was so nervous. He's like, can you help me? I don't know what to say to this carrier. Think about. So this guy, English is second language, I assume maybe third or second language like me. He doesn't know anything about dispatching. He's fairly new. And he just picked one idea and started implementing it without showing his face, without saying anything. That's just crazy. And now he's getting attraction from carriers. Then we joined on next coaching call, and he said, Kamal, it's amazing. I start getting, attractions, people, asking. And I said, that's the power of marketing. It's just putting yourself out there. So whatever we teach, be honest with you, it works. You just need to just implement. If you need carriers, finding carriers is not hard. I would say getting carriers is not hard. But getting them on board and start serving them and keeping them in the game, I think that's the hardest part, right? This is where you do a lot of work to keep them in the game and serve them so that they can be happy. So basically, that's what it is, right? It's like you don't need to do cold calling. You don't need to do cold calling. You just basically put yourself out there, and then people reach out to you because they are in pain, carriers, and I know because I was, carrier myself, and we're looking for a solution. If you have the solution, that's it. You have a business. You don't need to do cold calling. And simple because of that reason, I don't teach cold calling. I don't believe in cold calling, right? It's like it's not about like, hey, I have this fear of rejection or something like that. I don't care. But it's like there is a simple way. I think I'm a little bit lazy, but there's a simple way. It's a proven system that works. Why do cold calling? Right? You just build and just let the machine do it for you, and then you just start closing, let them coming in and start closing the deals on the phone or on the Zoom call or something like that. So using the template is very good idea. Please let us the email to contact you. Okay, IT department. So the email templates we're giving away for the paid students, right? But you can come up with email templates. Maybe they're online, somebody offering for free or something like that. But these are the templates that are reserved for our paid students. But yes, it's a great way to start. But then we had the strategy. So basically, where your headline should be, what your subject line should be, and then here's the body. This is the how you break it into small pieces, and then how to guide your carriers. So some people, as I said, they're just simply start killing it with this. And some people, they didn't know how to just basically use that template. Although we give the training, I totally get it. Some people just, they're not technical, especially if you are like English is third language, second language. It's really hard to just looking at the screen and come up with the idea. And again, it's not about coming up with words, but it's all about strategy, techniques, and tactics. How to just have your offer presented in a way to carriers or to people so it makes sense, and like, oh, this is what I was looking for, and this is what I need, and that's it, and you have a business, right? So, and again, guys, if you have questions, please let me know anything about marketing. And as you can see, like, I'm all about delivering. And as I said, if you missed it, go back and watch the video. I think definitely you will find awesome ideas, and you can start implementing it right away. And as I said, if you want to work with me, if you wanted to work directly with me, and you're looking for a coaching program, basically we just have a business in a box. We're just giving away our business to our paid students, and obviously people who will be joining. One quick thing that I really want to share with you guys is that there will be a price increase, and I don't need emails coming from you guys saying, hey Kamal, you mentioned this in the video saying that, but now it's a different price for the coaching program. Is because we are adding these the system that we use, we're just giving away for our students, and that's one of the reasons. I think it's in November, the second week, we're increasing the price for the training. So if you join before that, you basically got the deal. And if you just come after that, and obviously I'm not gonna keep the deal for long. So if you just wanted to join, please use that link below. There is a free startup guide. Once you sign up for it, then you'll start receiving emails from me, and then this is how we connect, and we'll go from there. Well, thank you so much, guys. It's been awesome training with you. And again, if you have any questions, please let me know. We'll go from there. Thanks.